What's up, Scitec Nation? This is Cedric McMillan coming to you straight from Columbus, Ohio, right after the Arnold Classic.
First off, we want to congratulate you on your 6th place finish. It's a great achievement for your first Arnold Classic. So what did you think about the lineup? Was it strong enough, for what the Arnold Classic, what you were expecting?
Yeah, a lot of people they tried to criticize this year's lineup in the beginning when they found out a lot of the people that maybe normally compete and they show up that level, they skipped it to prepare for the Olympia. But I think, I don't know, to do that is almost like a disrespect to the people that are competing. You know what I'm saying? When you call a particular lineup a weak lineup, because all of us, bodybuilders, all of us are good. All of us can potentially win at any given day, if we, come in, looking like we need to look, right? So, and we're all professionals and we all give it our best. So I would never call a particular lineup weak. For me, coming into this show, I would say I was just as nervous as I am when I go into any show, even my first novice show, I was nervous. So I was looking forward to competing just in general. And to me, I think, like I said, man, there's a lot of talent out there. So, for all the guys that actually did the show, I think it turned out to be a great show.
You mentioned in interviews before that you've always competed against yourself against not other guys. In that sense, what do you think? Were you satisfied with the shape that you brought?
Definitely, because for me, I always just try to progress from show to show. And my last showing was the 2012 New York Pro, and I believe I brought a package that was bigger. I had body parts was much improved. I really wanted to bring my shoulders up. I wanted to bring my arms up. I think I brought my shoulders up pretty good. Still working on the arms. I wanted to try to improve my conditioning, and I believe my conditioning was much improved. My tanning, my color was a little bit too light for the intense lighting that they have on the stage. I didn't have enough oil on for the lighting as well. And there's no way to really tell backstage how you're gonna look on the stage. I noticed a lot of the other competitors that are pretty experienced, I said, man, they really are dark, or man, they really got a lot of oil on, and I was like, they got too much oil on, but on stage it looked perfect, so when I, notice how, the comments that were made, to my coach Chris Aceto and to myself, hey, you need to be darker, you need more oil on. Then right after prejudging, I went back, I rinsed some of the tan off, put a few darker coats on. I made sure I was, I had a lot of oil on and everything. And when I came back out, a lot of people actually think I made some changes to my conditioning for the night show, but I didn't do shit. All I did was put on darker tan and, and more oil. So, but now I got that experience under my belt, so I know when you go to the Arnold Classic, you got to be real dark and you got to have on a lot of oil. You know what I'm saying? So it was a learning experience for me. But aside from that alone, I was very much pleased with the amount of progress that I made with muscle size, the body part improvements, as well as the conditioning. I feel like, whenever you have a bodybuilder or somebody that's trying to improve their physique or their body in any kind of way, people naturally have weaknesses, right? One person might become a bodybuilder and they have problems developing their lower body. They need bigger legs or something. Whereas another bodybuilder may have, a smaller upper body, so he needs to develop his upper body. Well, for me, the issue is not necessarily body parts, lower body, upper body. For me, it's the conditioning. So, as one bodybuilder may say, hey, come in ripped, and then the very next show they can dice it up with no problem. Well, for me, the very next show I can make body part improvements, but that conditioning is something that's taking a little bit of time. And I actually don't mind the time that it takes, you know, but when a lot is expected of you and people see your potential and they think you gotta be ready right now, you know what I'm saying? It puts extra pressure on you to, you know, try to be at 100%. But for me, I think it's a work in progress. I'm very happy with that progress, and I think if I just continue on working, you know, continue on putting effort into it, then we're gonna get where we need to be very soon.
Have you had a chance to discuss the contest with Chris? What did he say?
Yeah, of course I discussed it with Chris, and he says kind of the same thing we said. You know, he says, I'm happy with the way you look. I think you look great, you know, and I say, damn it, Chris, I feel the same way. A lot of times, you know, things like show placings, sometimes it could be out of your control. But one thing I know for sure is it's not really a whole lot of use in putting a lot of energy into why did I get this placing, what are the judges thinking, you know, there's nothing you can do about that stuff, and it's already done. So for me, the #1 focus right after the show was, okay, look at myself, what can I do to improve for the next show? You know, so we already have some plan, you know, in place, what I need to work on to try to improve my physique, what we can do to try to improve conditioning, you know, so from this point, we'll just continue on and keep working, you know.
Did you do anything special during the last week? Anything like carb loading or, you know, fine-tuning techniques?
Yeah, just the normal stuff where you go through, you know, a few days of depletion, and then the last day or so, you know, you carb up a little bit. You know, we did everything, you know, just like New York. The only difference was this time, you know, I know for a fact that my conditioning was better. I was leaner. You know, we've already compared pictures and everything. You know, I had more striations in my glutes and stuff, and the hamstrings, you know, the lines there were deeper. I believe that, you know, my back was a lot thicker than it was in New York as well. It was just, I believe, at the prejudging with the lighting, with the way the lighting was and the way my color was so off. I don't want to blame it on that. Could I have been tighter? Definitely. Definitely my condition can still be better. Was it better than New York? I feel like it was. But as far as the formula, you know, everything was about the same. We always, with the way Chris works, we just listen to the body, do what the body says. You know, if he looks at me and says, okay, you know, even though we should be carb loading right now, your body, your muscles look full, you don't need carbs right now, then we won't do it. Or if we're supposed to be depleting and I look too flat, he'll say, hey, let's go ahead and have a little bit of carbs because I don't want you know what I'm saying? He works with my body, so, you know, that's nothing changed. You know, we do that all the way through the diet, so it was the same.
So how much did you end up weighing on Saturday? Was it more than in New York?
I don't know how much I weighed at the show. I can say that in New York, before I left to go to New York, I was 268 Monday before I flew out. Well, Monday before I flew to New York, I was 276, 275 before I flew to Columbus. But as far as we don't take the scale to the show, because a lot of times worrying about how much you weigh, you know, when you see those fluctuations, it might make you, you know, a little bit nervous or get off your plan a little bit. We just go off of what, you know, what the look is. So I really have no clue how much I weighed on stage. But like I said, before I left Monday, I was around 275 or 276 before I left.
areas would you like to improve more?
For me, I want to try to, I've already, been trying to think about some exercises I can do to improve the separation and the muscle maturity in my quads. I think the lower quads is fine as far as the separation. Muscle maturity would help, to try to get some more cross striations there. Definitely the tie-ins in the upper quad, I want to try to make those lines deeper. So I'm going to work on some stuff that can help those out a little bit. I think I got the lines in my hams looking okay now, but it's always a work in progress to try to make them thicker, make thicker and rounder, so when I do my side poses, they have a little bit of a hang to them. Always working on calves. I think I found the secret formula for shoulders because my shoulders are improved, so we can keep rolling with that. Still working on arms. I can't really tell yet. I haven't looked at the pictures and tried to compare if my arms were up a little bit. I'm not sure. But just to say right now, my list would be quad separation, especially upper quads, continuous with the hams, continuous with the calves, and with the arms. That's what I think. That's what my goal is to work on, as well as improving that conditioning from show to show.
Tell us a little bit about the supplements that you were taking during your prep.
Well, with the supplements, I use a pure whey protein from Scitec Nutrition. I don't really take much pre-workout supplements because I don't like to use stimulants that give you, that boost of energy, because I like to know what my energy level is like. That way I can make some adjustments to my diet if need be, if my energy is too low. But once I have those days where I'm really run down, I will use some pre-workout supplements from Scitec Nutrition, which they have a few of them. I would use some of those to try to give me that little boost that I might need. Nitric oxide products as well when we low carbon, and it's really important for me to get a good pump and push blood in the muscle. I will use some nitric oxide supplements as well from them. Daily, twice a day, I use the multivitamin, multi-mineral products from Scitec Nutrition as well. That's something that we always have to get in. So.
So, did you get a chance to meet your idol, Arnold?
Hey, man, Arnold walked past me 3 times and didn't look at me once. Man, I was looking at like, I'm not going to say your name, I'm just going to look at you, and I'm just going to hope you look at me, but he never looked at me, man. So, which I know he was busy, it's all good. That trophy, it's not a trophy, it was a statue that was up on stage. That was the next best thing for me, So a couple of times I was looking at that statue, I gave a peace sign to him, and, that was it. So. But don't worry, because it's 3 Arnold shows in the world, and I'm going to chase his ass around till I get him, and eventually his ass is going to have to come talk to me. So we'll keep working on it.
I know it's early to ask, but should we expect to see you on stage at the Mr. Olympia this year?
Well, I still got to get qualified as of right now. So I talked to Chris. We're looking at a couple of shows we can do very soon. Try to win, get that Olympia qualification, of course. Try to improve on that conditioning because it's right there, So once I get back home and get my mind clear, spend a little time with the family and everything, make a decision on what we want to do, choose a show to try to get that Olympia qualification. If I can win a show, then we'll move on to the Olympia this year, definitely.